Good morning and welcome to my outdoor space in my garden at my home on Lamb Island. It's been a busy month or more, and first up I must apologise for not being as present in September. So let's begin October on a fresh note. My intention for October is to bring you some more recordings, some various different recordings based on some online questions that I've had within the group of people struggling to get to their mats, and also with my new space on Lamb Island, students wanting to know how I bring my practice into my home when I'm not on a class. I'm not at a class, I should say. So one thing that I can share with you is this, is the story that my student on Lamb Island told me, that she likes to get up in the morning and she makes a cup of tea and then she goes out onto the veranda and listens to the birds. And then she said she gets caught up with the sounds because she loves them so much that then she finds it difficult to draw herself back to then go, because she spent so much time sitting there. She feels that she should start to do something more productive in the day, as in i.e. housework or garden or work or whatever it may be. So my answer to her was, and if Alison eventually listens to this, hi Alison, that I always wake in the morning, I make my cup of green tea, and when I'm in this space of wanting to continue my yoga practice, to get this into a rhythm, I don't sit and settle with my tea. I take my tea, I grab my yoga mat. If I was on the boat, I would go to the bow of the boat, or wherever your space is on that you find that you are more comfortable in a quiet space on your boat or at home. So take that green tea or take a cup of tea or whatever your morning green juice or whatever to that space, and then start to sit in that space with your tea or whatever it may be, and sit comfortably. Now with Alison's example, she loves to sit and listen to the birds, so perfect. Take your mat, take your whatever morning beverage and or afternoon, if this is the space that you like to practice yoga in, and sit there quietly, sipping your beverage, and take in the surroundings, take in what you're hearing, whether it be on the boat and the water is lapping on the boat, whether there's birds tweeting around you, wherever that space is, that's beginning. You always know with a lot of all my classes that we always start with grounding, sitting comfortably, getting quiet, and starting to check in with our inhalations and exhalations, and setting an intention for bringing you to your mat. So this is my suggestion this morning, this short video to start with, and I'm going to bring you more and more videos breaking down yoga, and of course today is about getting yourself to your mat. So, and then later the classes I want to break down and just give you some videos of sun salutations to bring to the next stage, because I know a lot of you are still time poor, because we all live busy lives, because many of us are grandparents as well, and we're finding we're looking after our grandchildren, and we're not finding that space. Sharon, who's in our group as well, is my cousin. She practiced the video that I put out in September with her grandson, and she sent me a beautiful message saying that they did it together, and he was adjusting her and doing all sorts of things. So just make it fun. Don't feel that that every time you come to your mat, it has to be perfect, and you're in this perfect Zen space. And so yeah, so make it comfortable. Don't have high expectations, and begin your day with not getting too settled. If this is the practice that you like to do, a morning practice, and regardless of, say it's afternoon, maybe it's after lunch, do the same thing. Grab a cup of water, you know, just sip on it. Don't drink it down too fast. That's why a tea or whatever your beverage that you like, it's just something that you can sip on. Maybe just leave it beside you. Get into that mood. Another thing that I also like is to, if I just want to feel that relaxed state, and I don't want to listen to any instructions as such to have guide me through the practice, is that, and this took a number of years as well for me, but I like to make a few playlists of some songs and think of the song. And you know how much I try to bring music into as well, and it doesn't work with these live classes, and hopefully you get to join some of my in-person classes, whether it be on Lamb Island or wherever we see each other, because I love to bring the music aspect of it into it. Just creates a different mood when I'm teaching, and also when you're in your yoga on your mat in your yoga space. So I want to give you a little tool, some few tools to actually make a playlist to bring it into your self-practice. We're grounding first, so of course the beginning song should be quite meditative, maybe sounds of bells, maybe sounds of nature, and the second one maybe a little bit more of this, but then we're going to be moving into sun salutations, so this is more of a heating, so we start to move and be a bit faster. So bring the tempo up a little bit, and then you can use that tempo not too fast, because we still want that really sensual flow type music, but you can have a little bit of rhythm in there to help you if that's what you're feeling like. And of course you can make more and more playlists once you get used to doing this, so you can practice with how you feel. And yes, so you'll need about if you're doing it through iTunes or Spotify or whatever where you're making your playlist, it will give you how long the actual playlist is. So try to make it about, well, depending on you might want to just do a 15-minute practice, so choose a little short playlist for 15 minutes. Of many and almost all of my teachings to you are 60 minutes, so maybe create a 60-minute practice. And I encourage you to to build that up with your music a little bit, as you know, we got to the sun salutations, and then we start to in some of the practices we start to create more heat and waking up the spine using cat-cows, and or we're standing, or we're in warrior poses and triangle and all sorts of those standing poses. So you're sort of building with the music, and then when we start to move to the floor, this is when we start to bring the tempo of the music down a little bit, and so start to bring it back, probably not so much as quiet and as meditative, but if that's what you feel that you need and you would like to hear, go for it. But I start to bring it down a little bit, still with a little bit of action going on in the music, maybe someone talking, and then slow it right down until, you know, about 15 minutes near the end of the 60 minutes, start to really slow the music down into something very relaxing, because we're starting to wind down. Our breath is starting to get slower. We're starting to not think about our inhalations and exhalations so much anymore. We start to really bring them down and quieten them down. And then of course right near the end we have our Shavasana for about 7 minutes, and then we finish with Shavasana onto our gratitude and a breathing exercise to end. So nice, slow pace. And I actually try to make my playlists, if it's a 60-minute class, I try to make it about, a 65 or 70 minutes, because then once you open your eyes and you're awakening, whether it be the beginning of the day or wherever you're doing your practice, you just want to come out of it slowly. So sometimes the music just keeps state to think about the class that you attended, what you just experienced in that session, and then you just, I often make maybe another cup of tea or drink a glass of water after class, and I tend to just float away with that music until it ends, and then I start my day. So I hope that helped. And what I might do early on in the practices, when I began this subscribed Sail Wellness, Yoga Health and Sail Wellness, as it's changed over to the name, I did offer and give some music playlists that I had created. So if you would like me to send you those playlists, again, they're always a bit tricky, and that's why I'm encouraging you to make your own, is because if you're not tech savvy, you have to put them into your own playlists, whether you're with iTunes or Spotify and so forth. So I'm more than happy to send you a couple of playlists to get you started. So I'm not trying to record and give you that balance when it's not working with the music so much. So then I encourage you, if you use my playlist or you've created your own, is to have that on quietly when you're practicing with me, so you can hear me teaching you, and in the pauses of breath and when I'm not speaking, that you have that beautiful music in the background to keep you present and in that state. Just to finish, there's us that don't particularly like to practice to music. Maybe you have always done a quiet practice. Again, nature, being out here in nature and listening to the birds, and that is just and as equally, if not better, than music. For me, I've always practiced with music. My teacher always introduced music into the practice. So I love encompassing this, but I love encompassing everything. I've always taught outside in nature. It's been unusual for me, different, special, to have this challenge of being inside and having these inside space. My Lamb Island space now, at least I've got all these lovely windows and I can look out to nature as well. Although I give that to my students, they tend to look out and I've got my back to it, but still I know it's there. I'm surrounded with it. So I hope these tools help you. So yeah, it's a balance. It's a real balance to try and get you motivated to, or get yourself motivated to get to the mat. So just a big key thing for you to take away today is also either light a candle or some incense and have your playlist going. So create this awakening when you wake up in the morning of bringing this beautiful, whatever your beverage may be. Maybe set it up the night before you go to bed if you're going to have a morning practice, or after lunch, start to set up your space, or the afternoon, and make that your space. And make also, if you live with people, make sure that they know that this is what you're going to do. I'm going to be in a quiet space for 60 minutes now. If you don't mind, I'd like that space to myself. So lots and lots of different things that can help you with that. Yeah, and turn off the phone. Switch off the phone. If you know that you may be anticipating a text or someone from your family ringing for a particular reason, say that it's I'm offline for 60 minutes. Create that space, create that quiet space to bring you present to your mat. So namaste, everybody. Have a beautiful day or evening whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you again tomorrow. I hope to bring you these short videos and helpful tips to create a beautiful yoga practice that is regular and that you enjoy.